Hey, everyone. This is Cynthia Varkevisser, and I am here with my friend Freda for another episode of Strip Down What's Stuck, where we're going to talk about one or two challenges, depending on how much time we have, and we get it down to its essence, and then we flip it on its fucking head and turn it into action items. So, Freda, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about what's going on with you. What can I help you with?
So my main concern at this moment in time is that my husband and I are sort of dissatisfied with our current living situation and we want to move. We own our condo and we are looking to move into a single family home. And the thought of it feels pretty overwhelming because during when we first bought this place, I had a job that helped us get the loan to get it and all of that. But since the pandemic, for the last 3 years, I've just been working as an artist, which I absolutely love and I'm super happy with. I'm great. But yeah, it's like I'm reaching the point where it's like, well, we want to leave this situation. And I am experiencing fear around going and needing to get a big job again in order to get out of this house and go somewhere else in order to get a loan and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, so full disclosure for everyone, I'm also Freda's realtor. So I have a little bit of history. And if we talk about stuff, it's not my great psychic abilities. It was my great real estate abilities. So
I feel like everything was in flow and it was perfect and it all happened at that time. And
right.
like everything to get in here. And now it's like what we're being shown and what's happening is like our time here has ended and now it's time for something new. But it doesn't mean that it wasn't right then.
No, but here's what happened. Let's just recap. When we met, you were pretty much forced to look for another place.
Yes.
And you did something really brilliant, the two of you, which is if we're going to rent, we have enough money, see if we can own, right? So that is actually one of your challenges. One of your challenges is this is the time in your life where you two actually get to choose things.
Yes.
Instead of, one door closes and one door opens up. This is one of the things where you get to go to the ice cream store and go, what flavor do I want? That's one of the challenges because there's no sense of urgency for you, right? That's not a bad thing.
It just became a revelation though, because of things that are sort of happening around me. It just became a revelation that we have choice.
Yeah, isn't that great? It's amazing. So that's just so you know, that's on the real estate side. Intuitively, here's what's happening. You two don't really know how to up level.
Say more, please.
Yeah. Okay. So you two don't know how to up level, meaning have you ever thought about getting a $3,000 bicycle because you like the bicycle so much?
No.
Right. Because you're still on the functional. So where is the luxury? Right. So is this making sense? So up leveling is I drive a Mazda 3 and it's 2012, right? So it's an 11-year-old car. And I'm like, well, I'm at an age or I'm at where I want luxury. So now I'm thinking, why get a Mazda, which is a great car, super practical, and level up and get something a little impractical because it's a little bit more luxurious. So that's a level up. It's not the greatest way to say it, but let's put it this way. If you had your druthers, what neighborhood would you want to live in?
If I was allowed to choose anything in the world, I would live in the Oakland Hills or the Berkeley Hills, somewhere with a little teeny bit more nature, but still definitely be in the East Bay.
Okay, so here's the thing. As soon as you thought that, I could feel you in my stomach, which is we can never afford it. It's super expensive, right? It's, I'm going to have to think about all these other things. Okay. So that's the thing about leveling up. So it's not really about the move. It's about the level up. Does that make sense?
It does. Immediately, what comes up for me is a whole bunch of stuff, which is, just programming. But my programming in me is you have to work really hard for money. So you have to work all the time to have money.
Mhm.
And that because I'm a visual artist, unless I get really lucky and someone discovers me or somehow I get really lucky, it's not going to happen. And that we always have to live below our means and there's scarcity,
Right. So living below your means is actually amazing.
which we always have done,
Yes.
which is
That
part of
is
the reason why now there's a little bit of choice.
right. So
Yeah.
that's amazing. Here's the thing. Where have you decided to up level your art?
I choose it as a job, right? So where I'm up leveling my art is that I'm not out there hustling and making money. I'm choosing to make the art with the unknown possibility of a payoff in the future, but unknown.
Okay, so this is where your crux is. You're at a place where you can make art and actually sell it for higher prices, but you're not looking at it that way, right? Because that would up level yourself. And it doesn't mean that you have to produce. What it means is that you got to believe that there are people out there that are going to take a look at your stuff and love it. Just so you know, take a look back there. You see that back there? I look at it and I crack up. People crack up all the time and they're like, what is that? And I go, put your big girl pants on. Come on. So we're going to talk about the move, but now I'm going to strip it back. Okay. So
Okay.
the truth is you can move.
Mhm.
And the way that you two are situated is that you're super flexible and there are opportunities to go out as you desire to move. I don't see it happening now, but I do see it happening near the end of the year. At the end of the year, here's what needs to happen in the meantime, right? Is for you to gain exposure so that you can get more work. And it's not really about getting more work; it's about really being recognized for the type of work that you do, so that you can get more money. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're up leveling the sales of your art. The thing that's really interesting as well is, I think we talked about this before. You either go really tiny or really big.
Yeah.
So my suggestion for you now is have a job or think about a job or pitch a job. Doesn't matter whether or not you get it, to go really big,
Hmm.
because that is symbolic of you going really big.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, makes sense?
It
So
does.
yeah, a mural, and then really just go for it. And think about going big, and then you got to charge bigger, because what I'm hearing is that you are charging not enough.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've been working on this graphic novel, I guess, for about 6 months. And by the end of February, I should be finished with the drawing stages of it.
Mm-hmm.
We pitched the first 30 pages to publishers and we didn't get anything. And we didn't get any hits. But I am very hopeful that when they see it, like we're going to do it again in its entirety. There's a handful of publishers that just take the whole thing when they see all of it. And I am still hopeful that we're going to find somebody. So it's sort of like a first step in like getting acknowledged and moving towards the thing that the two of us want to do.
So who's driving that?
Corey.
Good, because it's that gives you time to up level your work. So what I'm saying is, I'm glad that you're hopeful. Set that aside,
Mm,
right? Or don't put it in the front burner. It doesn't need to be your focus. You're gonna hit your deadlines anyway.
okay.
And now it's time to start thinking about yourself first as an artist.
That's really interesting. Yeah, though I've definitely put that to the back burner for sure, like the last 6 months.
Okay. So you're talking about being yourself, being your
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's time to put it forward. You're in a place right now. So let me tell you about the year. This is a
Okay.
year of magic and fast moving energy. Okay. Now that you're grounded, you don't have to be worried about this fast pace.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So step into the flow of the year and really start opening yourself up to opportunities as an artist. And it doesn't have to be commercial, it can be a lot of things. But what I'm hearing is that you have opportunity to make really good money. And what will happen is as money starts coming in, so you don't feel perpetually unemployed,
Yeah.
right? So as money starts coming in streams, the scarcity index will go down.
Okay.
Okay. Now that's all on the mindset part.
Yeah.
Just know that as you move into the flow of things, everything else is going to work. Like there's going to be some kind of influx of money. I wouldn't be surprised if Corey gets a raise or something where there's like a bonus where there's like a little bit of it feels like there's not a windfall, but there's going to be like an influx, right? And it feels like it's going to come from a place that you hadn't anticipated. And that's
Okay.
a good thing. All right. So this is more on the psychic side, but on the intuitive side, your limiting mindset is really not limiting in money or anything else. It's about just up leveling yourself and taking yourself much more seriously as the business person of an artist. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I mean, it does. It does make sense.
And there's nothing, here's the thing that's fun is that once you step into it, you're going to find that there are other people, not just artists, people in your realm where you're going to start pushing each other in a way that's really positive and fun. It's kind of like you cheerleading for each other in a certain way. Like, what are you talking about? You're amazing. And then it's going to move and they're going to say the same thing. What are you talking about? You're amazing. And then you're going to move in a certain way.
You know, I love my community.
Yeah, exactly. And they love you. So just
Yeah.
it's about accessing them in a little bit of a different way. So that's where the limiting mindset is, because what you're saying to yourself is, I need a job in order to make as much in order to make money, but you're not saying that as an artist, which is where you
I'm
love.
not. When you say that, it immediately makes me go, I'm saying that because it's going to tamp the artist down again and I can go hide and be small and not.
But you're not that person anymore.
I know.
Right? So
No,
that
I
thought,
can hear that that's not like I'm saying it. I can like hear that it's not even on the table. Like this idea of like going to get this other job because that's the only way. It's not even in the realm, but for
yeah.
some reason it still wants to just like be the answer that I'm saying out loud.
Right. So your mantra really is about being big, right? So I have big energy. I'm open to big success. That is really scary to say because then all of a sudden there's a whole lot of responsibility, right?
I'm afraid it's going to get taken away or somebody will come after me, or I'm afraid that it's like if I want something too big, I'll be absolutely destroyed if I don't get it.
Yeah, I know what that's like, right? Because I want to be Deepak Chopra light, right? And right now I'm like not even Deepak Chopra, I'm like D light. Oh, D light, that's nice. But
Light.
you're right, I'm like D light, but I want to be right. I want to be up there and be that healer that people are going to come to my center, see my amazing healers, come hear the things that I have to say. You're not alone in all this. There are so many people that are like this. And of course, it's not going to be one, it's not going to be one big giant step where all of a sudden you freak out and go, oh, I bit off more than I can chew. What's going to happen is that you're going to go to that place where it's like, I'm not even a little bit, I'm fucking nervous. And yet, if you talk to your friends and they're like, what are you talking about? That's not a leap at all. It's actually very reasonable. So it's really about checking in with your community and have them boost you up and finding the people in your community or even adding to your community where people are in a similar situation, which is we know we have a lot to offer. We just need to start up leveling our stuff.
Yeah. And there's something about knowing that we're not necessarily coming from scarcity to feel comfortable to do that.
Right. But I don't even go to scarcity because it's beyond scarcity. Scarcity for you is a symptom. Okay. The truth is that there's a part of you that's having a hard time being number one.
That's true.
right? And then the second is to be big.
Well, that's true too.
You're not alone. You're not alone. It did not serve you to not be the eldest child, because as an eldest child, you actually get to you get to experiment things, and your parents are actually also figuring shit out while you're learning to be a human being. So you came in of service, which is awesome, right? To be of service and to be in support. Now it's time to switch it up, and you are the person in front, and then you have people be of service to you. Oh, look at that face. What just
I
happened?
know, I hear you. And then that is like very, I like want to cry. Like that's very uncomfortable.
Well, let's do this. Why don't you do this? So here's part of your homework, right? One is that you're going to add to your meditation, which is, right, which is, I am big, I have big energy, and I am open to big success. Okay. The second thing is to go talk to your big sister
Mhm.
and say, I really want to be big. What do you see? And you know what's going to happen? She's going to tell you all kinds of crazy good stuff. Not because she's your big sister, but because she means it.
Okay.
Okay. And then I want you to go to your parents
Hmm.
and do the same thing.
Okay.
Because those are the places where you've been in support.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're totally brave, then you ask them for support. And they're going to say, what does that mean? And it'll mean, be my cheerleader in a way that I've never let you be a cheerleader before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some sinking in. I'm such a good support system. Like I am such a good backbone for others. Um, yeah, allowing myself to like put myself in that position, and then being like immediately brings up fear of being seen. It brings up fear of like judgment getting thrown at me or hurled at me, because now why do you deserve to be number one, and like all of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you two questions. Okay.
Yeah.
The first one is, instead of saying, why do you deserve to be white, number one, which is, can I have my turn?
Mm.
Okay. Because that means then someone else will have a turn. So it's been someone else's turn for a long time. Now it's your turn.
Okay, yeah, I love that. And that also fits in with like, because, yeah, all right. I like that. That feels good. No, that feels good because it's like, oh, can I have my turn?
Mhm.
Because I will also, in my turn, then share and uplift others with me. It's not just like spotlight thing.
Absolutely not. Here's the thing. There is no such thing in my reality that you're doing it all for yourself, because someone will see you and they'll say quietly or out loud, I'm learning from you.
Yeah.
Right. Or I want to be like you.
Yeah. And I
Right.
think, yeah, and that is it on like a low key level, not in a money's way, but like in a low key level, like just like spiritually, it's totally already happening in my community. Like people see that I've been taking care of myself the last 3 years, and they're like, we want to take care of ourselves too.
Excellent. Right. And then they're probably talking about how great it is. Right. Now, the next piece is to get support as you level up. Okay. And I know you can get it from your community, but it's really important to get it from the people that you've been supporting your whole life. And
Yeah.
those are the three people that we just talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So that's pretty much where that goes. All right.
Hmm.
So now let's bring it back around to to moving.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving is symbolic. That house really is too small for you,
Yeah.
right? You two have grown so much energetically. It's not a big enough container.
Yeah.
However, if you buy a house, you actually can get a house of same size or even a little bit smaller, because the space around you then expands your energy. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. Let's pretend you have a yard in your house. And
Mhm.
in that yard, there's trees or whatever it is that you want to put, and that there's no neighbor back behind you because it's a hill.
Yeah.
Right. And you live in a small house, same size as your house. What happens is, next thing you know, you're outside and your energy expands. So your house is not the container of your energy. Your whole space, your whole property becomes the container for your energy. And then you're the type of people that will build, right? So then you can build things in order to grow your energy.
Yeah, I mean, that makes complete sense. I think that like the thing, it's not the literal unit like that's wrong with the
No.
place that we're in. It's like it's the building, and it's like owning it with just like there's four of us.
Right. But the other piece too is it actually is too small for you now. It really is in
Well,
lots
we
of
need to,
ways.
yeah.
Okay. So there's that. There is a point to this. Oh, okay. So what I'm doing is I'm taking away the literal piece of getting a single family home and buying up in size, right? But
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're buying up in space. Okay.
Yes, that makes sense. It doesn't literally
Okay.
have to be size. It's different in space. That makes sense to me.
Right. Now, as you get the type of love that your spirit needs from your family,
Yeah.
what will happen is that will make you feel abundant. It will make you feel more whole. It will make you, right? So it will alleviate a lot of these anxieties. And the next thing you know, everything goes bigger. So the meditation and the asking your family, they go hand in hand, because one is you boosting yourself and the other is your family boosting you in the way that serves you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you lift up, then what will happen? Money will lift up, opportunities will lift up, recognition will lift up, and then the move can happen. So it's all relational.
Okay.
Make sense?
It does.
All right. I'm gonna let you know one more thing. You said that you have a thing with sugar.
Yeah. I think that I choose sugar sometimes to temporarily numb out and just experience the feelings of the sugar, but ultimately it's doesn't last very long, and it doesn't make me feel very good afterwards.
Yep. So go talk to your sister.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest talking to your sister. Do this thing with your sister first, and then take a body temp and see where your craving for sugar is.
Okay.
Right? Sugar is one of those things that's really I think the word is pervasive. And so it's like it's one drop of sugar and it branches out into all these things, because it's all the things that you want to numb out. So
Yeah.
sugar is one thing, and it right. So the thing about the sugar for you, and for me, it's a little bit different, but for you, it's because you need a little bit of like support in your life. And that's pretty much it. So when you're numbing out, it's because you feel small, you feel like there's no way to get out of this without getting a regular job that I just don't like.
Right.
Right. So getting the boost. I know. So do you have sugar? Do you have candy? Is it candy that you usually get, or cake, or what is it usually?
Anything, any sugar.
All right, great. So do you have it in the house?
Yes, we do.
Okay, that's not a problem. But one last thing is, on the cupboard or the drawer where you have sugar, have a piece of paper with all the people who love you.
Oh.
Okay. And put it on top or on the cupboard or someplace where it's in front of the sugar.
I love that.
See what happens.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. It's going to be a very long list.
I know, isn't that great? I think it's fantastic, right? You just keep folding it and you have a book. And you got to try and squeeze that book in there, but that's all you want to do. It's just all the people who love you. It's just a lovely list, and then it will go. So isn't that kind of funny how it all kind of just loops in together?
Yeah. Yeah. And knowing like, yeah, the house stuff feels, yeah, the house stuff definitely feels like it's not actually about the house.
It's not. And the reason it feels daunting is because it has to do with money,
Yeah.
right? And the process of the things that happen. It's really not about that at all. And if we were to do like a couple thing, it would be a different thing, but we're talking about you and your dynamic. And the beauty is that you alone can shift in a way that you can actually move. So now if you don't move, it's not that you failed or anything. It's just that your path is just not at the speed that you want it to be, that you anticipated. That's okay, right? Work at the rate that feels good for you, and you are really solid in your spiritual practice. Now it's time to apply your spiritual practice in your business life.
Hmm.
Make sense?
Yes.
I dig this shit. I dig this shit. I dig this shit. That's all I can say. All right. Do you have any other questions?
I have I definitely look forward to listening to this again and absorbing it again.
It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. If you are done, then I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Feel
Yep.
good? All right. So party people, you've been with Freda and me, Cynthia Varkevisser, doing a quick session of Strip Down What's Stuck. If you're interested in participating, take a look. There's a link below and you can make an appointment. We also have a series of classes and retreats that are way fun, way kick-ass. It turns you on your head and you come out looking pretty damn spectacular. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.